going on, everybody? Tim here, XGP Rockarchy, and we have a brand new thing that we're going to try today night. Two things we're going to try. This is a high potency 60 mg THC drink, which has 60 mg THC. It's a raspberry lemonade. It's called Torch THC Lemonade. Contains THC. But anyways, I was watching Big Bang Theory, and they were playing the old Zork game, which is a text-based RPG. So basically in Zork, it would say you're on a path, what do you want to do? And then you would have to manually type go north or go south or go east, and then it would say there's a door blocking your way, and then you try to say open the door, and then it would say you need to find the key. So then you gotta, look around and stuff like that. So I found some apps on my phone. One of them being AI Dungeon. The other one's Eldrum Untold is one of the apps that you can get. Arclight City and Game Master. So this is what the little icons look like. Now it's kind of a shit image. Anyways, I'll screenshot this and I will post it in my Discord. You guys can see that. I'll just kind of share it in photos. But anyways, I've never used AI Dungeon before, so this is going to be all new. I'm just going to go to share photos, and that's where I'm going to post that photo, so you guys can see those images. Hello, Calypso. So, chat, if you guys want to help persuade me on what decisions to make and everything else, that's completely fine. So, I didn't really read the description. This says Fusion Dungeon, so we're just going to click play. This is loading the adventure. Character's name. Let's just do XGP Rockarchy. Choose your character's gender. Male. Whoops. Choose your character's pronouns. He, him. Choose your character's race. For a random race, enter race. What type of race do we... I don't know. Let's just do human. Choose your character's class. For random class, enter class. Barbarian. Describe your character's appearance. Tall, thin, black hair, blue eyes. Oh, Jesus. How about brown hair? Oh, let's start with the body type, I guess. Husky body type. Bearded face, brown eyes, brown hair, and a mohawk. I don't know if that matters. Well, yeah, it's easier to just describe myself instead of trying to create a character from my imagination. Mohawk. So husky body, bearded face, brown eyes, brown hair, and mohawk. Oh, geez. What else should we do? Let's say medium height. I don't know. Let's just click continue on that. I could be there forever thinking of things. Okay, so you are XGP Rockarchy, a male human race barbarian class, and you believe you can succeed where many others have failed. After a long, strenuous journey, you arrive at the entrance to the dungeon and descend the stairs. Tip: read the FD Beginner's Guide story card for a quick tutorial. You enter the dungeon, equipped with nothing but your own resolve and a body honed by countless battles. The stone walls around you pulse with an eerie red light. and the air tastes of old blood and something else, something metallic that makes your teeth ache. Ahead, the corridor splits into three paths, one leading down into darkness, another climbing upward toward what might be daylight, and a third winding deeper through the dungeon's guts. Your bare feet find purchase on the smooth stone floor as you advance cautiously. The ambient temperature drops noticeably as you move further inside, and the oppressive atmosphere presses down on you. From somewhere in the darkness comes a wet, sliding sound like something heavy being dragged across stone. Continue. Not right now. Dungeon's guts, smooth stone floor, the corridor ahead stretches into darkness, marked only. The, the corridor ahead stretches into darkness, marked only by the occasional pulse of red light that casts shadows like gasping fingers along the walls. The scraping sound echoes again, closer now, accompanied by a rhythmic clicking. The air grows colder still, and you can see your breath in the faint red glow. A sickly sweet stench, like rotting fruit, mixes with the ever present metallic tang. The path ahead splits once more, a narrow tunnel to the left and a wider passage to the right. The scraping noise comes from the left, where the walls glisten with an oily sheen that absorbs the light. To the right, the passage widens into a chamber that opens up into darkness. Okay, so we click continue. I'm gonna take a turn. What do you do? Oh, okay. So the path ahead splits once more, a narrow tunnel to the left and a wider passage to the right. The scraping noise comes from the left. Go left. Okay. You go left. The narrow passage to the left opens into a chamber where the sickly sweet stench is almost overwhelming. The air here is thick and humid, heavy with something organic. The walls ooze a dark, vicious fluid that clings to the stone and reflects the dim red light in a grotesque way. The clicking sound echoes, joined by a wet, bubbling noise from somewhere ahead. The corridor slopes downward, leading to the heart of this organic abyss. Stone beneath your feet has become slick with the same oily substance that coats the walls. Some droplets of the liquid fall from the ceiling like teardrops of tar, creating a glossy black pool on the floor ahead. What is erase? I don't even know. So a narrow passageway to the left into a chamber. Search the area. You search the area. Instinct takes over. You grasp the skill slam frenzy as you level up. A wet, squelching sound echoes from deeper in the chamber as something massive shifts in the darkness. The vicious fluid dripping from above increases in intensity, now splattering against the stone floor with a sound like rain hitting a tar pond. The metallic taste in the air thickens, and you notice the red glow pulsing more rapidly, almost in rhythm with whatever is moving in the shadows ahead. From the murky depths of the organic chamber, two yellow eyes open like malevolent lanterns in the gloom. They regard you with an intelligence that seems alien and ancient. I'm gonna say hello. Say hello. Instinct takes over and you grasp the skill Bash Rage as you level up. The deep, resonant voice that answers your greeting carries an unsettling, guttural quality that vibrates through the chamber. At last, a creature with the courage to seek me out. Few dare to disturb my domain these days. The eyes blink slowly, their vertical pupils contracting in what might be amusement. The organic walls seem to pulse in rhythm with the being's words. You enter my domain with such vigor, such raw potential. A mass of dark flesh shifts in the shadows, something vast stirring beneath layers of organic membrane. What brings you here, little warrior? Hunger? Glory? Or perhaps something more valuable? I don't know. Weapons and armor. Riches? Okay. So I'm here for riches. Whoops, I gotta spell it correctly. AIs might not register it if I spell it wrong. The massive entity before you. Okay, so you say, I'm here for riches. A subtle shift within tells you, rage wreck, trample break is yours as you level up. The massive entity before you lets out a sound that might be laughter, wet, bubbling, and resonant. Riches. Such a simple thing for something so complex. The being's voice echoes as the walls themselves seem to tremble. You seek what so many seek, yet so few understand. The true wealth of this dungeon lies not in its treasures, but in what it offers those who dare to plumb its depths. One of the yellow eyes narrows slightly as it studies you. You carry yourself like a predator, yet you walk into my domain with nothing. No weapon, no armor, no offering. The other eye opens wider. Curious. Most curious. Hmm. You know what's crazy is we could literally do anything that we could think of. But we're gonna take a turn. I don't know if we should say do. Will you help me in the depths of the dungeon to acquire riches? It's ACQ, right? Acquire? Yes. You say, will you help me in the depths of the dungeon to acquire riches? The entity's massive form shifts again, the organic walls flowing like waves of living fresh flesh. Help you? The voice rumbles with a dark amusement. Help you, little warrior, would require a price and a contract. The yellow eyes pulse with an inner light that mirrors the red glow of the chamber. I offer knowledge of the dungeon's secrets, maps unseen, traps undetected, monsters, weaknesses known. But such gifts do not come freely. One eye blinks slowly. You wish to venture into the depths? Then provide me with proof of your worth. Venture down this corridor and return with the heart of whatever dwells at its end. Okay. So we're going to do venture into the corridor. You venture into the corridor. The lesson clicks. You now wield Crash Rush as you level up. I don't know what that fucking means. The corridor stretches before you like a wound in the dungeon's flesh. its walls pulsing with the same organic rhythm as the main chamber. The air grows thinner as you descend, and the floor beneath your feet becomes treacherous with patches of slippery organic matter. Strange sounds echo from deeper in the passage. Not quite footsteps, but something heavy moving with deliberate purpose. The passage opens into a wider space where the red glow becomes brighter, revealing the source of the metallic stench. The chamber before you is a butcher's nightmare made flesh. Bones and sinew hang from the ceiling like grotesque chandeliers, while pools of ichor, whatever, flow through channels carved into the stone floor. This is why I can't read fantasy anymore. What do you mean you can't read fantasy anymore? What part was making it to where you can't read fantasy? This drink tastes terrible. Too much world building description I can't track. Well, we're in a stone corridor. The walls are pulsing with red. And there was a giant entity that we did not see what it was, and it just had yellow eyes. That would be the simplified version of what's going on. But this is also kind of cool because whatever we decide to do, the AI triggers off of what we say or do, and it keeps the story going. I would like I'm reading this like I'm listening to a DM because this is the DM basically talking. It says the passage opens into a wider space where the red glow becomes brighter, revealing the source of the metallic stench. The chamber before you is a butcher's nightmare made flesh. Oh, a butcher's nightmare made flesh. So a butcher's nightmare made real. I don't know why it wrote it that way, but whatever. Bones and sinew hang from the ceiling like grotesque chandeliers, while pools of dark ichor flow through channels carved into the stone floor. Um, can we touch the dark ichor? I'm gonna take a turn. Do the dark ichor on the floor. I just I just want to know if it's flowing through channels or if it's actually just flowing like across the floor. You touch the dark ichor on the floor. Please select continue. Continue. Okay. The ichor sizzles against your bare skin, sending a burning jolt through your nerves. Your body reacts instinctively. You snatch your hand back, and the momentary pain blossoms into rage. The liquid smells of decay, of ancient death, but it's warm, too warm. From deeper in the chamber, something large stirs, a wet, rasping sound like a gigantic, fleshy bellows being exhaled echoes through the space. The walls seem to tense, pulsing in waves outward from a central point. Then a dark shape emerges from the shadows, a massive worm-like creature, its segmented body covered in writhing red tendrils. Sounds like a giant centipede, or millipede, or something peed. I do. Study the creature. That would probably, if we were doing this with dice, it would be a perception check. The segmented horror wriths. Okay, so you study the creature. The lesson clicks. You now wield. Okay, whatever. The segmented horror writhes before you, its tendrils twitching. What? The segmented horror arrives before you, its tendrils twitching with what might be hunger. Each red tendril ends in a barbed, needle like tip that glistens wetly in the red glow. The main body is armored with a thick, leathery hide marked by deep scars and patches of pale white where older wounds have partially healed. A cluster of dark, pulsing organs hang suspended beneath its awesome kind of reproductive sac. You realize with a shudder. Your presence causes it no apparent alarm. It merely turns its massive, eyeless head toward you, antennae flexing as it scents the air. Ask the creature carefully. You do not make it past the creature, and it swallows you whole. Okay, you pass the creature carefully. The creature does not immediately attack you as you step around it, though the red tendrils closest to you twitch with glowing awareness. Their barbed tips flex slightly, as if testing the air for the taste of your skin. You press forward, boots squelching in the thick ether that pools across the floor. Ahead, the passage splits, one tunnel sloping down into deeper darkness, the other angling slightly upward. The glow pulses more intensely here, revealing glistening mineral formations sprouting from the walls like organic stalactites. Something thrums in the air, not sound exactly, but a vibration that sets your teeth on edge. A heartbeat? The dungeons? Or something else? So we will take the tunnel sloping down. You know, I'm not a huge fan of this platform, like the way that this is going, this mechanic where you have to type it in and then it generates the next part of the story. It's still cool, it still works, but I like the app that I was using on my phone where you just read the thing and then it gives you choices to pick from. But I guess this does give you more freedom on what you can do. Because we could have just ran away the opposite direction of that creature, which I definitely think it was like a millipede or something. But we snuck past it because we're trying to go deeper. So the tunnel narrows as you descend, the walls pressing closer until you must walk with one shoulder nearly brushing the organic surface. Strange sounds echo from below. The wet slap of something large moving through liquid, the scrape of claws against stone, and an occasional guttural growl that reverberates through the passage. The air grows thicker, more oppressive, carrying with it the sickly sweet stench of rot and something else, something chemical, like burning copper mixed with old blood. You round a sharp bend and the tunnel opens into a vast cavern. The floor here is completely covered in a writhing mass of segmented worms, each the size of your arm and wriggling through a pool of viscous fluid. Oh, let's. So this floor is covered in these worms that are the size of your arm. That's. These guys are big. Say hello. Okay. Say hello to the pit of death. Hello. Okay, you say hello. Your mind sharpens and Smash Howl takes root as you level up. I don't understand this level up thing. The writhing mass below stirs at your voice, the countless worms raising their heads as one. to expose dozens of eyeless, dripping faces. The sound you make is met with a collective hissing exhalation, a rasping that echoes through the cavern like the release of air from 1,000 punctured balloons. The largest worms, easily twice as thick as the others, begin moving through the swarm with eerie coordination, their pale underbellies dragging through the pooling ether as they clear a path directly toward you. A single, massive worm detaches itself from the collective, lifting its bulbous head until it looms above you. All right, so now we have this like giant worm coming up and like looking down on us. What will you do? GTFO. Bye. Um the first creature understood the human language. I don't know if they're all going to be that way. Oh man. I come in peace. Okay, you say I come in peace. Without thinking, your mind moves, acquiring Rip Strike, Rage Tear as you level up. The massive worm's response is instantaneous. Its segmented body surges forward with terrifying speed and barbed maw snapping open where its head meets its torso. Rows of serrated teeth catch the red glow of the cavern as dozens of its smaller brethren scramble up the walls behind you, their bodies slick against the stone. You have only a moment to react as the worm lunges. With the newfound strength of your rip strike skill, you twist aside, feeling the heat of its breath as it misses by inches. But in the same motion, you notice the smaller worms behind you are already moving with alarming coordination, closing in, their segmented bodies forming a living net of flesh. Fuck, I don't run. Run. They're gonna eat me. You run. You moved late, but not too late. Lesson clicks. Your muscles respond instantly, your body shifting weight as you push off against the slimy floor. The nearest worms snap at your boots, their serrated teeth scraping against leather, but you manage to clear the threshold of their writhing mass. Behind you, the largest worm, a veritable monster, lashes its head, sending several smaller brethren flying in all directions with the sheer force of its movement. It isn't as fast as the smaller ones, but it is relentless, its massive bulk propelling it forward like a living battering ram. You burst from the cavern into a narrow passage, the walls slick with the same viscous substance as the floor. Well, I'm glad we ran because I feel like we were going to get eaten. I'm going to say continue down the narrow passage. The passage slopes sharply downward, forcing you to pick your way carefully along the slick surface. Behind you, the monstrous worm thrashes against the entrance, its body too wide to fully squeeze through. The walls quiver as it strains against them, eager seeping from between its segments as it pushes with single minded intent. You quicken your pace, boots squelching in the foul substance, your hands scraping against the organic walls for balance. Red glow from the ceiling grows more intense, revealing branching tunnels ahead, some leading deeper, others angling upward toward who knows what. You pause at the junction. Okay, so it says the red glow from the ceiling grows more intense, revealing branching tunnels ahead, some leaping deeper, others angling upward toward who knows what. So go deeper. Congratulations, you have won a skin. You go deeper. In a flash of clarity, you acquire the skills Smash, Crash, Roar, Rage, Stomp, Wreck, Cash Rush. Crash Rush. I probably should have done that. The passage plunges into absolute darkness, the red glow fading behind you like a dying ember. Your hands find the walls, and they pulse with a heat that makes your skin crawl. The tunnel floor gives way beneath your weight, and suddenly you're plummeting into an abyss of pure, suffocating blackness. You hit the bottom hard, the impact driving the air from your lungs in a sharp gasp. Your hands scrape against rough stone as you roll to absorb the fall, feeling the sting of shallow cuts across your palms. When you finally stop moving, you become aware of something else, the subtle thrum of machinery somewhere in the distance. A rhythmic hum that vibrates through the floor and up through your bones. Look for a weapon. Your hands search the cold stone floor around you, fingers sliding through the debris of whatever creatures once called this place home. The sharp edges of shattered bone, the rough texture of old shells, and finally the solid weight of something metallic. Your fingers close around the hilt of what feels like a dagger, its surface slick with the same viscous substance that coats everything in this place. As you lift it, the weapon gleams dully in the darkness, revealing its true nature, a rusted, broken piece of machinery. Its edge worn smooth by time and neglect. The grip is too short for your hand, the blade scarcely longer than your palm. But it's better than nothing. You stand, feeling the echo of that distant mechanical humming. Walk forwards the mechanical humming. I spelled mechanical incorrect. Hopefully it doesn't crash the AI. The humming grows louder as you move deeper into the cavern, echoing off walls slick with mineral deposits. The floor here is less treacherous, relatively dry in places where the ether has congealed into glossy black pools. The machine's sound becomes more distinct now, not just a single tone, but layered vibrations that seem to speak in an incomprehensible language. Then you see it. Rising from the center of the chamber is a towering construct of rusted metal and pulsing flesh, its surface dotted with exposed veins that glow with the same sickly red as the cavern walls. The machine pulses in time with your heart, as if aware of your presence. Search the machine for a kill switch. Spooky. You search the machine for a kill switch. The world slows, and roar stomp wreck becomes your second nature as you. Your boots scrape against the cavern floor as you circle the machine, eyes scanning its bulk for a weakness. There are no obvious switches, no clear kill point. Instead, the pulsing veins seem to ripple in waves across its surface, spreading in concentric circles from what appears to be a central mass embedded in the machine's core. A faint hiss of pressurized gas escapes the joints as you near it, the sound almost mechanical in its rhythm. Then something shifts. The largest vein, a grotesque artery running up the center of the machine's torso, twitches, and for a brief moment you glimpse a darker patch within. A seam, perhaps, where metal meets flesh. Stab the seam where metal meets the flesh. Whatever's pulsing through these walls is going to come out and go, rawr! You stab the seam where the metal meets the flesh. Your movement has quiet as quiet determination and quiet grunt follows the impact. Through focus and will, you acquire slam smash as you level up. The blade sinks into the seam with a wet, grinding sound. Dark ichor spurts from the wound, hissing where it strikes the hot metal. The machine convulses violently, its mechanical joints shrieking in protest as the two opposing materials, organic flesh and cold steel, separate under the blade's pressure. The central mass exposed by the gash writhes with a life of its own, pulsating frantically before suddenly going still. The mechanical humming ceases abruptly, replaced by the distant drip of cooling fluid onto stone. The veins across the machine's surface begin to dim, their glow fading to a dull ember. Oh, I don't know what was feeding through this whole dungeon, but that one stabby. And now the machine's shut down and the pulsating stops. Okay, so let's. I don't know, walk and follow the flesh like walls. You press deeper into the labyrinth of pulsing flesh and rusted metal. The walls slick with ichor that glistens in the dim red glow. The corridors seem less like natural formations and more like the inside of a massive living machine. Veins thick as tree trunks stretch along the ceiling, connected to pulsating nodes embedded in the stone. Your boots leave wet prints as you move, each step echoing in the tight confines. The machine's heartbeat thrums through the walls, a constant pulse that makes your teeth vibrate. Every breath carries the metallic tang of blood mixed with machine oil. Uh, Follow the veins to the central point. I'm hoping like we find I'm hoping that we can follow it so that we can get to like the heart of this thing. Corridors narrow as you advance, forcing you to walk through channels slick with old blood and oil. The central mass of the machine looms ahead, a massive sphere of fused flesh and metal, veins thick as tree roots spreading out in all directions. It pulses weakly now, the once robust rhythm faltering. Press closer, boots sinking slightly into the softening ground beneath the ichor. The machine shudders, its outer shell peeling away in places to reveal the writhing mass beneath. Flesh parts, revealing a hollow core, and something moves inside. A figure, curled and dormant, encased in translucent sacs of fluid. A human figure, or what was once human. Let's cut open the translucent sac of fluid. The sack yields to your blade with a sickening crack, releasing a rush of thick, steaming fluid that cascades down the inner walls of the chamber. The figure within slumps forward slightly. The clear membrane that had encased is now clinging in wet strands. A sharp chemical stench fills the air, bitter and acrid, like battery acid laced with medicine. You step closer, wiping ichor from your blade on your thigh. The figure remains still, limp limbed, suspended within the remaining sack by dozens of tubes and cables that pierce its flesh at intervals. A face turns toward you, obscured by matted hair and translucent strands of the dissolving membrane. Are we in the Matrix? Because it sounds like those pods that well, what we would be in if the Matrix were real. And then when we're awoken, we wake up in one of those pods in the membrane stuff. Uh, Approach the figure. Approach the figure that dropped from the sack. Okay, so you approach the figure that dropped from the sack. Your boots sink into the soft ground as you approach the slumped figure. The chemical reek of the ruptured sack fills your lungs, stinging your eyes. The body twitches weakly as you step closer, cables pulling taut where they're embedded in its flesh. A hand twitches, fingers splaying like a corpse in water before going still again. The face lifts slightly, revealing hollow eyes beneath tangled hair. A voice rasps from the ruined throat, faint and broken. You should not be here. The sound is a faint whisper, almost drowned by the gurgle of fluid still draining from the sack. But as you breathe, as your breath settles, you catch the words, "This place kills." Oh boy. I want to say, are you in pain from those cables in your body? The figure's breath comes in wet, ragged gasps, their body shuddering as the last of the sack's fluid seeps away. Their fingers twitch when you speak, knuckles cracking with dried tendons. A thick, rust colored paste has crusted in the corners of their mouth. Pain was the first thing I learned, they rasp. Each word a struggle against what sounds like a crushed windpipe. Their head lolls back, revealing deep scars that stretch from their temple to their neck flesh, fused with metal at the edges. The cables embedded in their arms pulse weakly, twitching like severed nerves. Help me out. Their arm jerks weakly, fingers curling in your direction. Help the entity. Help the entity remove the cables from their flesh, which may in turn actually be in their flesh and may possibly cause them to bleed out. Ah. The cables embedded in the figure's flesh resist your touch at first, glowing faintly as you attempt to disconnect them. The figure arches their back, a strangled sound escaping their throat as the cables contract, pulling their limbs taut. Fresh blood wells around the metal connectors as you force the first one free. Faster, the figure gasps, their voice a raged whisper. The machine, it's still alive. The ground beneath your feet shudders as you work, and a new mechanical whirring echoes from deeper within the dungeon. The cables resist your every tug. Their surfaces slick with some of kind of organic lubricant that makes your fingers slip. All right, so keep removing the cables from the figure. Blood pools beneath you as you yank free the last cable from the figure's wrist, their body convulsing as the connection severs. The figure collapses forward, gasping as the metal implants tear free from their flesh. You catch them before they hit the ground, their weight slight and fragile as bone and sinew. The machine, it's still trying to keep me. The figure wheezes against your shoulder, their breath warm and pained. Their eyes flutter open, revealing irises that swirl with silver flecks. Unnatural, machine touched. Fresh, fresh blood trickles from the wound sites where the cables tore free, soaking into the already stained ground. Um, Carry. How about ask the figure its name? Oh, I guess I could just say instead of do. What is your name? The figure's breath catches as you ask their name, their head lolling weakly against your shoulder. They seem to struggle to form the words, lips cracking with dried blood as they speak. Rin, they rasp finally. The sound fading to almost nothing. Their fingers twitch against your arm, weak but undeniably alive. I was a scout before they caught me. Their body shudders, fresh rivulets of blood tracking down their exposed arms where the cables once were. A machine. It takes, it changes. Rin's breath is rage now. We each inhale coming as a struggle. Their unnatural eyes flutter, catching the dim glow of the veins in the walls. Pick Rin up and carry them onward into the dungeon. Okay, letting us do it. You lift Rin with some effort, bone and wasted muscle against your frame, and move forward. Their body is fever warm against yours, each step making them shudder. Their breath comes in shallow gasps, their head lolling against your shoulder as you navigate the narrowing corridor. The dungeon reacts to your movement. The walls seem to shift subtly. Subtly? Yeah. Their slick surfaces contracting as if tightening around you. The machine's heartbeat grows louder, more insistent, a drum beat against your chest. The veins embedded in the stone pulse faster, swelling and twitching like constricting serpents. Rin lets out a wet, choked sound as you carry him. Look for some kind of clothing or cloth cover Rin. I mean, we're inside of a machine. I don't think we're going to find anything. Please select continue, 50%. Please click continue, 100%. The figure in your arms shivers violently, their skin clammy beneath the dust and blood. Their teeth chatter as you lower them onto the uneven floor of the corridor. The walls seem to pulse inward, forcing you to press against the opposite side as space constricts. The its heartbeat thrums with a sickening rhythm that vibrates to the stone. Rin's fingers dig weakly into your arm as you lower them, their unnatural eyes flickering with some internal turmoil. It's getting worse, they gasp. Their body arches slightly as unseen forces pull at them, muscles twitching as if the machine still seeks to reclaim them. You shouldn't be able to move. Oh, this is probably a bad idea. Stab the wall. The blade sinks into the wall, an inch before meeting unyielding resistance. The dungeon shudders in response, the walls creaking as if in protest. A high pitched whine echoes through the corridor, and the veins in the stone pulse violently, spilling drops of dark ichor. Rin lets out a strangled noise, their body convulsing as the machine's hold tightens around them. The walls are alive, Rin gasps. Their fingers claw at your arm, blood from their wounds leaving streaks. It's testing you. The air thickens, the pressure pressing in like the walls are breathing. You sense something ancient and malevolent watching, weighing you. Grab Rin and run. You haul Rin up, their limp body hanging slack in your arms. Their breath is shallow and labored, but their fingers twitch weakly at your wrist, a feeble anchor to keep you from dropping them. The dungeon reacts to your movement, walls shifting and closing like a mouth around prey. The heartbeat thunders, deafening, reverberating through the stone. The vein in the walls pulse with sickening vitality, bulging like snakes preparing to strike. The dungeon isn't just watching you anymore. It's alive and it's angry. A low, deep sound thrums through the space, almost subsonic, making your teeth vibrate. Continue through the corridor. The dungeon walls pulse in unison with your steps, the rhythmic throb of the mechanical heartbeat now syncing with your own. Space narrows further, forcing you to press Ren tightly against your chest as you push forward. Yeah, there is a lot of vibrating and pulsating. Uh, his breath itches at every movement. Oh, his breath hitches at every movement. Each breath a shallow rasp that grates against your ears. The walls aren't just closing anymore, they're shifting. Veins of dark metal twist and weave along the stone, glowing with a sickly blue luminescence. Then they move. The nearest strand lashes out like a whip, its barbed tip snapping just inches from your face. You twist away, stumbling over an uneven section of the floor. Move through the corridor. You think the cave is Horn IE. The corridor constricts around you like a living throat, the walls pulsing with every mechanical heartbeat. Rin's body grows heavier in your arms as blood loss takes its toll. Their breathing growing more labored. The dark veins in the walls pulse faster as you realize the machine is tracking your progress, or more likely, Rin's weakening life force. Ahead, the tunnel branches into three directions. The left path glows with sickly blue light. The center path shows deep gouges in the stone as if something massive was dragged through it. And the right path emanates a faint heat. Each route carries an ominous weight, but you can't tell which might lead to help or which might lead to your doom. Maybe. Tear my shirt and patch up Rin's wounds. The dungeon waits as you tear fabric from your shirt, blood already soaking into the cloth before you can properly wrap Rin's wounds. Their skin is fever hot beneath your fingers, pulse weak but still present. The veins in their arms twitch sporadically, the metal implants still trying to reestablish connection. Their breathing falters as you lift them again, the rage sound almost lost beneath the machine's thrumming heartbeat. Ren's head lolls against your shoulder, their unnatural eyes half lidded but still flickering with a strange metallic sheen. Left, they whisper, so faint you almost missed it. Machine, it doesn't like what's in the heat. So take the left path. The tunnel twists. The tunnel twists sharply left. The walls shifting and contracting like a living thing. The mechanical heartbeat here is louder, vibrating through the stone and into your bones. The veins in the walls pulse faster, swelling and twisting, their, their luminescent fluid turning from dark blue to a sickly yellow as you move deeper. Rin's breathing becomes more labored, their feverish body twitching against you as unseen forces pull at them. The air grows colder, damp, and heavy with a metallic stench. The tunnel descends, forcing you to adjust your grip on Rin. Their fingers dig weakly into your shoulder, a silent plea not to stop. Then, movement. The walls convulse. Oh, lordy. Let's see. Rin's breathing has become more labored, their feverish body twitching against you as unseen forces pull at them. The air grows colder, damp, and heavy with a metallic stench. The tunnel descends, forcing you to adjust your grip on Rin. Uh, we're gonna move towards the sound of machinery. In the sound of silence. The walls constrict around you, forcing you to shuffle sideways as the corridor narrows further. Ren's fevered breath warms your neck, each exhale weak and unsteady. The dungeon's heartbeat pulses faster, the sickly glow of its veins flickering with irregular bursts of light as you move deeper. Machinery groans ahead, a steady grinding punctuated by sharp whirs and the occasional hiss of pressurized air. The tunnel opens into a chamber bathed in blue light, a vast room where the stone floor is covered in deep grooves like the tracks of a massive beast. Great! Examine the tracks. I don't know if our character has any prior knowledge of creatures in the world, so. The grooves in the stone floor are deep and wide, as if something massive has dragged itself through this chamber time and again. The surface is smooth, worn from repetition rather than time. The ridge of deliberate shape carved by design, a strange rhythmic clicking sound echoes through the room, too precise to be purely mechanical, yet too deliberate to be chance. Rin moans softly in your arms, their fevered skin hot against your chest. Their fingers twitch weakly at your shoulder. Cold, they whisper, their breath shallow, their body shudders, not from the temperature, but from the dungeon itself. The machine inside them stirs, rejecting the stillness of rest. Move towards the machinery sounds. The massive chamber stretches before you, the pulsing blue veins along the walls, casting stark shadows that writhe like living things. Machinery dominates the far end, a hulking structure of dark metal and glowing tubes, steam hissing from vents along its flanks. It is a machine unlike anything you've ever seen before. Its purpose unclear, but its function unmistakable. Unmistakable. The grinding gears and hissing pipes grow louder as you advance, the room's acoustics amplifying the sound until it reverberates through your skull. Rin stirs weakly in your arms, their feverish skin clammy against your neck. There, they rasp, one blood-stained finger pointing toward the machine. Forwards, forwards, machine, Rin pointed at. The machine looms before you, a sprawling structure of dark metal pipes and glowing tubes that hum with purpose. Steam hisses from vents along its frame, filling the air with moisture and the acrid tang of lubricants. The grinding of gears becomes deafening as you approach, the vibration shuddering through your boots. Ren shivers in your arms, their fevered skin slick with sweat. You reach a control panel, an intricate arrangement of glowing runes and mechanical dials that pulse in sync with the dungeon's heartbeat. As you set Ren down carefully against the nearest wall, their head lolls to the side, unnatural eyes flickering weakly. The core, they whisper, voice breaking. Break it. Take the core from the machine. Your fingers close around the core, an intricate construct of dark metal and glass pulsing with its own alien rhythm. It's warm, almost feverish in your grip. And as you tear it free, a shuddering howl echoes through the chamber. The machine spasms, gears grinding to an uneven halt, steam exploding from vents in violent bursts. Ren gasps against the wall, their bodies shuddering as the metal tendrils inside them withdraw, no longer seeking connection. Then silence. The dungeon stills, the mechanical heartbeat slowing to a faint echo before finally stopping. The veins along the walls dim, their unnatural glow fading like embers starved of air. We're going to check on Rin. And then we're going to read this prompt that comes up. And then I think that's going to be a good stopping point. So, Rin's body is still fever hot against the stone wall, their breathing ragged. You kneel beside them, placing a hand on their shoulder. Their skin feels unnaturally taut beneath your fingers, the metallic sheen of their cybernetic implants dimming. Their unnatural eyes flicker open, the mechanical components inside them retracting further. They stopped. Rin whispers through rough and broken. The pull. It's gone. They swallow hard, their throat dry. Their hand twitches towards your arm, fingers curling weakly in the fabric of your sleeve. Thank you. The dungeon remains eerily still, the last remnants of its mechanical heartbeat fading into silence. Lying atop an intricately carved pedestal, you see a glowing, studded leather hat of wailing. All right. So I'm going to have to try and figure out how to save this so that we could continue from here. But this has been very interesting. So it doesn't matter what we did or what we prompted, like it kept the story going. So this is a really fun way to play an RPG because I could have literally typed anything in there. I mean, there's some things I can't do because the only thing we found was that dagger. I had no weapons, no armor. I was basically just running around in a loincloth with my dick hanging out. We almost got ate by centipedes, millipedes, whatever those creatures were. We talked to some weird black dark creature with yellow glowy eyes. But we need to find whatever's down here. Oh, which may be the core. Because it said bring the heart of the beast back to him. Or them. We don't know if it was a boy or a girl. So back to the creature with the yellow eyes. Because when we asked him to help us, he said that it would cost. Crazy. I'm really enjoying this AI dungeon. I do want to test something. So if I go to settings and this is okay, so that's settings. What is this? I don't know what that is. All right, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna exit and then no, not AI dungeon logo, just AI dungeon. You guys can do this too. I'm on a free thing here, so let's click sign in. That signed me in. Oh, continue. Okay, so it's right here. Okay, so yeah, that's a good way to a good spot to end. I wonder if we go here if it shows yeah, Fusion Dungeon, continue. All right, cool. So we're good. All right, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the story so far and what we've gone through. And I thank you guys for following over on Kick, following on Twitch, and subscribing on YouTube. I am going to get off here now and go watch Big Bang Theory with the wife. So I'll see you guys later. Y'all have a good one. And let me know if you guys end up playing some AI Dungeon. It's free levels and then there's subscription plans. I don't know what the subscriptions get you, so I can't answer any questions about that, but it's free. So aidungeon.com. You guys can pick any scenario in there and start playing. So I'll see you guys later. Y'all have a good one. Bye.